Welcome everyone. It's Friday. It's almost kind of upsetting. It means there's a weekend. No. So we got some interesting stuff moving on the on the watch list today. Let me quickly just go ahead and move right over and share my screen. Like always, guys, the watch list I post every morning on Trade to Win, the journey thread that we have there. So if you guys always want to check it out, you get the latest news there. And you also get all the trade reviews. I post all the pictures of the past trades. So let's dive into the market. There's a few things we're watching. We're watching EYEG. That's definitely the main one we're watching. We're watching VIVE, although it's sold off entirely. It has basically no catalyst. EYEG has the best catalyst right now. A good, what was it? A biotech. There was a study that they did. It has a really good results. And then WKHS, definitely exactly like in our price range, a little bit overextended, kind of pulling back a little bit. And then we're also looking at ASTC, which we have traded in the past. So ASTC actually might be the best pick, or the second to best pick. I'm really looking at IG. I'm going to call it IG, and then ASTC. So let's see what we got here. Let's take a look at ASTC a little bit more. We got, how much time do we got? We got 12 minutes till the market opens, so nothing too stressful. The thing about ASTC that I'm not the biggest fan of is, so we've traded this one before, and we had a really nice evening bounce trade. This is when my strategy was a little less fine-tuned. I was kind of trading, I don't know, I was trading basically support zones, which are amazing, and I love trading support zones, but I didn't really trade the market open. I was just kind of like whenever. That's why we weren't live streaming back then either. So this one, you know, it had that big rally. It sold off. It wasn't really able to hold its highs. It kept selling off, came back to this $1.4 area where it found really big support. And now it seems to be bouncing off that area. So let's see what happens. I mean, right now it's holding its highs pretty well, up 27%. So let's see how this one kind of ends up. I don't believe this one has a catalyst either. I think it's really just up due to taking profits. If you guys know if there's any catalyst out for it, let me know. I haven't really found anything up yet. So I think this one's really just kind of running because it found a big support zone at 1.5. That actually would have been a really good general buy area. You know, it's done some accumulation, doing an overnight trade in this area. I think that would just be generally good risk reward, but that's not really our trading style. Although I do like support, and that's how I trade most of my crypto. That exact strategy, I find it very convenient, especially in a market that trades for 24/7. However, with trading stocks, we want to be in and out of the market. We want to be very quick. And I love this momentum gap and go trading. You can really just focus for 30 to kind of 90 minutes, and you're going to be basically done more or less with trading for the day. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I also changed the light. So it was a bit more orange. Now it's more white. I think it hurts my eyes a little bit less. The orange light was really getting abusive at one point. I couldn't do like half the amount of time that I can do with this one. All right. Yeah, so I think if we run past 2, we could really have a good rally with ASTC. I just don't really feel like it's going to happen. I mean, maybe it will. Maybe this is the first pullback on a larger daily time frame, and maybe we're going to really have a big rally. But this pullback was pretty strong. So, and what I mean pretty strong, let's quickly look how strong this pullback is. And a lot of times when you have a pullback that's very strong, you don't always recover from it. Let me see if we can. So yeah, this was a 40% plus pullback. So that's pretty strong. A lot of these first pullbacks, second pullbacks, you're looking for something above 30%, ideally, you know, even above 20%, but you know, 25, 20 is completely fine. But once you get, you know, past that 30, it's more of a really aggressive sell-off and a failed breakout. So again, let's focus on our number one mover for today, EYEG. Again, guys, 17 million market cap, 3.6 shares outstanding, and the float on that is 3.2 million. So this thing definitely has potential to run. One of the reasons I really like EYEG, besides the fact that it's in our price range, it's up on the highs, it has momentum, it's holding its highs in that 20% of the high area. I mean, this fits our criteria to the T. Massive gap up. So let's see what we can get on this one. We have 4 trades available today, but I really don't want to trade more than 2 because I don't want to use all those trades again. I want those trades to go into next week. Last Friday, we traded 4 times and we broke even. It was a disaster. So let me quickly show you guys what that looked like since we have a bit more time here. If we go over to portfolio, you guys can see exactly what happened. So last Friday, where is that? This is October. October was a disaster. Well, it wasn't a disaster, but it was a really choppy start to this challenge. Let's just say that. I mean, not what we were looking for. So yeah, last Friday right here, so we had 4 trades and we basically just broke even. But overall, I mean, we had a green week. We didn't have one red day on Friday. Last week. So that last week was really nice. This week, on the other hand, a little bit more shaky. And why is this trade not showing up here? Let me quickly see if there's something wrong. Something is not showing up. So let me go to day trades. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, it's because we have It's actually kind of funny. We have the wrong date here. I wonder why I put the wrong date. So this is 21. And now you will see this trade portfolio. You'll see this trade show up. So maybe it just needs a little bit. Okay, there it is. So yeah, I mean, this week we're definitely down a little bit. We're down almost $100 this week. Nothing really too bad. The big thing to take away though is, yesterday's loss was a 3.5% loss roughly, but Wednesday's gain was 7% gain. So our win-loss ratio is exactly where we want it. We just got to keep up the consistency. And it was kind of unfortunate that we had such a bumpy start to the week. I see Sebastian's all excited. It's good to feel the energy, guys. So again, let's quickly recap what we're looking for. We are looking for AYEG. Ideally, we want a first pullback. I want to entry on first pullback. If we get a breakout from the high, which is definitely likely with this tiny float that we have, then I would like to buy on a breakout bounce of the market high. Otherwise, I don't really want to be trading that. I'm just not very good at trading those kind of breakouts. Let me go ahead and identify some key support areas here. And actually, if we go to our bigger chart very quickly, so our Overwatch main, we'll just have a little bit more perspective on this chart. So it looks like we definitely had a reverse split over here. Oh wait, we're not even on the right one. EYEG also has a reverse split. This one likes to run though. This one definitely has a few spikes. And right now we're at, what were we at? $11 on this one already? 877, we hit $11, that's what it was. So big support here at 8. Let's go ahead and identify this area. Another big support zone is this $6 area. I'm gonna go ahead and identify that. So we've blown through the $6 area. We've grown past the $8 area. And now we are hitting this kind of high area of $11. And we're having a pullback right now to $8. And this might be too many lines on the chart, but big support at $8. Let's see if it's worth kind of identifying this $877 area. So between $8 and $8.70, big support. So this could be a nice little bounce area, especially if we have one of those morning panics. So if we have a morning panic, we're going to wait, for that 10-15 minutes after the market opens to do an entry. Ooh, it's cold in here. So that would be really nice. A little morning panic would be phenomenal. Or we're going to break out, you know, but I'm pretty weary about these gap areas right here. They're not really my favorite thing to kind of dive into. I feel like these gap areas are really hard to break through. So I think a morning panic might be our most interesting bet. But if we break past 11, you know, big bounce potential. But there's no way I'm going to buy a breakout at 11. I would like to buy a potential, you know, reversal. So we break out past 11, then we come back down, and then we use that as a new base. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. We got 2 minutes till the market opens, guys. 2 more minutes. Take this opportunity to hit that like button if you guys have not done so already. Let's see. Okay. If we wanted to enter this trade, what would we need? We would need, what kind of position size are we looking at? That's a little bit too much of a position size. "40 seconds till the market opens." Just gonna put that order ready to go. That would be a morning panic order. I am honestly shivering because it's so cold. I forgot to put on my jacket today, and I don't. 5 seconds till the market opens. And we are off to the races. Look at that gap up on the daily, huge. All right, so we're breaking 9 area. Remember, this has a tiny float. We're having a little bit of shaky internet. Connection is still good, but just freezing up a little bit. It could also be my CPU. Could be a little overextended right now. I probably need to restart my computer. Huge volume, guys, coming in here. Huge volume. There's a massive fight between the bulls and the bears right now. And I just realized I was on the 5-minute chart. I was like, something is not looking right here. So the first candle is a bit of a doji candle. A lot of times when you have the second and third candle after a doji will really tell the price direction. So first red candle of the day. Markets in general are all up. Okay, here we go. Price is climbing. it looks like a base is kind of coming in here at the 870. Remember we were talking that the $8 area is major support. The low volume, I mean the low shares being traded is definitely going to be a big reason this thing's going to potentially fly. VIVE. Let's quickly check it out for 1 second just to kind of see how it's trading. Similar activity. I'm not the biggest fan of this one right now though. WKHS, let's quickly take a quick gander. Also kind of having a little bit of a morning panic, just huge sell-off. I'm going to keep a close eye on AYEG again. Looks like it wasn't really able to break that market high. I think, again, guys, at $8, there's a good chance we're going to see some tremendous support. I'm just going to move my limit order down a little bit because I would like to decide when we get into it. I'd rather move it up. I don't want some sort of panic to get me in the wrong trade. I'm also trying to avoid the tick view as for a little bit. I've noticed that the tick view has gotten me into some unfavorable positions just because I get overly aggressive, maybe too quickly. So my limit order right now is just a little bit above the 7. This thing could really dip quite quickly if we crack $8. $8 held pretty nicely. It doesn't really look like much, but that was a 5% bounce that just happened. And you know what we need to also kind of keep in mind is if we don't trade today, that's also fine. Sometimes, you know, the best trade you can make is the one that you didn't make. And I think, you know, if I went into the week, especially on Monday and Tuesday with that kind of mentality, I think we would have been better off. Even yesterday, you know, yesterday, small loss, but it could have been a nice profitable trade. We were just way too aggressive in that market open. Definitely don't want that same mistake to happen again. Already a 13% pullback from its highs of the market open. No need to rush into this thing. One quick look at VIVE again. Not really doing too much. And WKHS might break above VWAP here in a second. Some big support came in, huh? At the $8 area. We're already looking at right around a 7% bounce, but that would have been, you know, for a perfect entry, perfect exit. That gap up today is just really impressive. If you didn't know where to look, it would almost be confusing on the daily chart. So the 5-minute chart, you can kind of see that bounce, the significance of this area. But let's see if we go above VWAP. Let's see what's going to happen here. Can the 8.5 hold? $8.49. 8.5 is still holding, although very shaky. Okay, just crashed. I don't really like the pattern on this one. To me, it's really choppy, and there's no, you know, super clear entry. I'm gonna go ahead and put an alert here as well. Create alert, just so in case we're watching anything else, we get notified. I'm just gonna put it a little higher here. Create. VIVE was rejected a little bit. Looks like a lot of things are getting rejected just out of the gate. WKHS. All right, we're seeing some steady momentum here. Has decent dollar volume. Shares outstanding a little bit more than we would like to look at, 66 million. I'm not sure exactly what their float is right now. What was that, about the 50s? $53 million. So yeah, they're going to be moving a little bit slower. They also had a morning panic, but recovered pretty nicely. Nothing really blowing me away today. You know, I felt like every day this week there was something that I either wanted to really jump onto or something, you know, just ahead of time that I was really excited about. But so far, you know, finger off the trigger today. EYEG is breaking above the 9. This could be considered a first pullback. Looking at the tick, nothing really that you know, would go to my attention right off the bat. Super choppy, and I'd probably be getting faked out on that. So let's see, can we break the high right here of 9.36 roughly? Or we're gonna have a little bit of a double top. I think there's a good chance with the float this thing has to really just rally. But you know, it's already up so much. It's up 85%, so it's kind of hard to to get overly aggressive on something like this. I personally would want to see it pull back a bit more, but we didn't really get that pullback that we wanted. And yeah. So this 9.4, 9.5 area is quite key. You know, we had a breakout from this area all the way to 11 right away and then got rejected. Then we had a breakdown bounce right here. We came back up eventually, got rejected, had a fake out, got rejected again this morning. I think trying to buy this potential breakout would be super aggressive, and I just don't know if I can get myself to do it. We're having a secondary pullback right now, holding above VWAP. This could actually be, you know, that entry. I'm going to go ahead and remove my order on the downside and just kind of get ready for any sort of potential breakout. Now, if we bought, let's say right here, which I didn't want to do, so good thing that didn't happen. We'd be kind of in the price range that we're looking for. This could be the breakout. Here we go. Wow, this thing is just moving in all sorts of directions. I couldn't get myself to buy this breakout. To me, it's a little too risky with that 9.5 resistance. I would rather see a break above that 9.5 and then a bounce back to the 9.5 and then probably enter on that bounce. Just, you know, this one just screams a risk. And although we do have that really nice $11 upside, here we go, VWAP coming in as support again. I think an entry at 8.9 could be actually quite interesting if it holds. Now we're breaking to the downside again. Yeah, so it looks like that double top really, that was the final blow on that one. Another one we were watching, this completely messed up our chart actually. So let's just go over here to ASTC was another one that was on our watch list. This one had actually kind of a nice morning panic right down here to support. Not really holding its highs that well though. And you know, we kind of called this one out. You know, there's really no reason this one should be rallying. I think it was just a support line bounce, maybe some shorts covering, short squeeze, but there was really no reason that should be running. And that's kind of how I feel about kind of a lot of the things running today on our gap scanner. It's times like these you have to ask yourself, have you hit that like button yet? $8.5 holding. Could this be the pullback that we were waiting for? I have no idea. This is getting a little choppy. Let's see if we can try to figure something out here. Green volume candle with basically no volume. On the 5-minute chart, also, I would say nothing really amounting to anything that looks super great. If I was blindly long EYEG, you know, I would probably be looking to take some profits after being up, you know, 100%. Worst case scenario, if I really like this company, I can, you know, buy it back when the price kind of figures itself out a little bit more on some major pullback. But if I was a long-term investor on EYEG and any one of my stocks was ever up, you know, 100% in a morning gap up, then it'd be pretty tempting to at least not take some profits, right? So we had that original limit order around 7.8. So I think it was 7.86. Then we moved it lower, below 7.5, just to make sure we weren't caught on any sort of quick trade. If anything, I guess we should have moved it up to 8. And the reason for that is just because, you know, we had some big pivotal areas at 8. You know, we had that first big breakout off of 8. We had a big a bounce off of 8. We had a breakdown bounce off of 8 right here. And we had the reversal off of 8. So 8 seems to be a pretty pivotal area. And it's probably something I should have recognized before. And then went ahead and entered the trade on 8. Then we could use our max stop at, let's say, 7.75, risking, you know, 25 cents on this larger cap stock, or not larger cap, but, you know, more expensive stock, which is really not that bad. But, you know, we have 50 cents of upside. Or no, $1.50. What am I talking about? I mean, that would have been a pretty good trade. And I think that would have been the trade to make today. So we're about in 20 minutes after the market opens. Some consolidation happening right here in the 8.5 area. General decline in volume over the last, you know, 15 minutes. Let's see if this camera is set up right. All right, now I'm a little bit more centered. $8.5, is this the turning area we were waiting for? Or is this just another step on the downwards train? $8.8. Looking to break back above 9. 8.78 is actually would be kind of an interesting entry area almost, if this area decides to hold. I'm not really feeling it. Although I do like what we're seeing on the 5-minute. We're seeing, the highs being held and a potential, pullback. We had a big green candle, a red pullback candle, and now we're kind of forming a green candle. So if we can build some momentum up here and maybe start moving above the 9 again, but like I said, that 9.5 area is just major resistance. Boom, again, crushed. Good thing we did not pull the trigger on that one. I just don't feel totally confident trading this one unless we had a bigger pullback. I do think the catalyst is great, and I like the price action, and everything else fits our criteria almost perfectly. But again, I just don't like the price action in terms of, the amount it's gapping up, and the fact that we didn't really have that morning pullback as strong as we would have liked. I really need to get a haircut. I got hairs flying all over the place. I would not be surprised if we had another touch at $8. See if we have a double bottom. Will we hold? I don't know. If we don't hold this area, there's a lot of space in between before some major support. But I think we'd probably see some big support where we had these pre-market support areas. So right above $7, $7 to $7.50, $7.66 even, huge support zones. So I think both these areas would be pretty interesting for some support to kind of kick on in. All right, here we go. Here we go, a little fade. This is going to go quick at this point. $8 seems to be holding for now. I don't know about you guys, but I want to see a crack of 8. Let's see it. No, right now it looks like 8's still holding, 837. It's trying to break back up. Breaking over the high of the previous candle now, or it did for a small second. But the bounce, here we go. Here we go. Now we wait. So ASLN seems to be the big runner today that we completely missed. I was actually looking at this one, but I ended up not putting it on our watch list. What was the reason for that? I think it was just because it was under $1. Well, it's not under $1 anymore. This one was really, really nice. We had that morning big gap up. Then we had a pullback to the EMA. And then we ripped on out of here. So this one was really, really nice. And it looks like it's probably halted right now. Yeah, so this one's halted. This should be really interesting to see what happens when it gets unhalted. Let's create an alert here and say if it goes above 1.54, let's get alerted. And then let's say if it goes below 1.3, create alert, we'll get alerted as well. So we've got two little alerts on here on this one. 1.5 is going to be a tremendous amount of resistance. And then 2.7 again, big resistance. So this thing might really crash heavy. And if it does, it could be a really good dip buy, failed breakout. What was the news on ASLN? I don't even remember. Just a bunch of halts, announces, preclinical data. Shows the drug potential for leukemia. That's huge news. So let's see what happens. We should have paid a little bit more attention to that pre-market gapper, and I should have really considered trading this one since all the other things weren't really on our watch or weren't exactly perfect, right? So I should have probably considered moving to some different price classes. Let me check it out. CLVS. CLVS we've traded many times in the past. Pretty nice rally this morning. Really nice float. Big dollar. Oh wait, we're looking at the wrong one. 54 million shares outstanding. I'm not sure what their float is, but probably around over 40 million. Big market cap. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit slower of a mover, but really clean pattern. I like it. A little bit morning panic. Then we had a red to green move right here. We had the first pullback. This could have been a great breakout buy here. Just in general, you're getting a little bit smaller moves, 3%, but still really nice clean chart. I'm not sure what their catalyst is today, but this is something that traders are always looking at, CLVS. And looks like it's going to continue to move higher. EYEG is not really moving. It's still stuck at 8.58. I think there's a good chance CLVS could keep running into the 10s. It has a really nice upward momentum pattern. Good call, Andrew. Looks good. So we had a first pullback here. We had a second pullback here. And now it looks like, this could be a nice entry. If somebody missed this breakout right here, you have that nice breakout bounce where it pulls back a little bit, and you can enter again on the secondary pullback. A little bit more risky, but it's a really nice way to trade. EYEG still at 8.4, not really doing much of anything. Can the 8.25 area hold? If it can hold, this thing can rally to new highs. Here we go. That was exactly what we just talked about. ASLN is moving again. Let's quickly check it out. ASLN. Woo, this thing is flying. So something like this, I mean, you could also lose a lot of money, but this thing, 17%, while CLVS is, struggling to give you 2% profits every now and then on a quick trade. So yeah, this first pullback really would have been the place to do it. I think it was just halted again. Yep. So we broke the 150 area really nicely. Good chance it might go all the way up to 2.7 where there's huge amount of resistance and a former top. So let's see. I mean, this thing, EYEG. Okay, hold up. Let's go back to EYEG, having that break that we were talking about. $7.5. Big sellers really came in there. 400,000 shares, over 400,000 shares traded. We could have maybe got that bounce if we left our limit order here. But I would honestly rather see another dip maybe to $7. I'm going to go ahead and create an alert here. And I'm also going to create an alert on ASTC. Wait, not ASTC, ASLN. When it gets unhalted, I would like to watch it. If we have another dip here at 7.5, I would like to go long. I wouldn't really want to go long before then. Down about 13% from that VWAP area. That was a big sell order that came in, so that kind of put me on edge a little bit, and is why I didn't want to enter that trade. Here it looks like we're going to have that secondary dip. Let's see how far this one can go down. We'll move up our position size a little bit just in case. I'm going to uncheck auto send and see, you know, if we were to send here, okay, we'd be like, that's a pretty decent position size. Big support at 6. ASLN is still halted. I'm just watching the order book right now. Seven 4. It seems like there's somebody trying to get out of their position and they keep running it down and they might start selling into the bid. ASLN is back moving and they are over $2 now. Wow, it's moving so quick. 210. That spread and that ask is just, whew. I can't look at two things at once though, and right now it looks like it's crashing a little bit down back to 1.8. And I'm looking right here, guys, by the way, if you guys are wondering. So it hit 210. Now it's at 1.8. So let's see if this $7 holds. There's a huge seller at 740. So somebody wants to get out of this position. If we break 7, I would like to look for a potential entry on a reversal on a bounce. I wouldn't really want to do it before then. $7.4 holding. That's where the big seller was. The seller might be just hiding in the bushes, waiting to sell into the bid. I would not be buying at 7.4. This is when the price goes past 7.4, and everyone's like, Alex, what do you mean? ASLN was halted again. That's just so entertaining to watch. Just watch that all day. 7.48. Guys, I don't know about you, but there is a seller chilling at 7.5 now. 7.46. We're trading under the low of the VWAP. There's not a lot of support in this area. Not a lot at all. Maybe some pre-market support, but after that, the major support is really closer to 6. So I would like to see a crack of 7 and just see the order book get filled with sell orders, and then I would probably jump in on this one. ASLN still halted. This is where we need to take our deep breaths, guys. So guys, we can not trade today and it would be phenomenal. It means we don't have a red day. We could trade today if there's a perfect setup and hope for that green trade. But you know, there's no need to rush into anything just to sell, just to buy into some big selling. So just chill. This is what I should have done Monday and Tuesday. Just really take a step back. Even yesterday. 7.5, some buyers coming in. They are trying so hard. Who here is trading ASLN? That's my question on you guys, because that's a beast to trade. I probably would have had 3 heart attacks already. Here we go. Sellers are back in action with IG. Can we get that? Can we get that break? So let's say we buy somewhere in the 650s. Be a lower position size. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing. We go live every morning, every day the market is open at 9:15, and then we trade roughly the first 30 minutes of the market open. Today we're going a little bit longer because we didn't get a trade in yet, and well, there's some interesting potential going on. AYEG broke our trigger for our alert, so let's see what happens. The $7 area is coming close. I really feel like there can be huge bounce potential on $7, although I really would like to see a crack of $7. So many buyers above 7. Nah, so many buyers. 7 and 5, huge amount of buyers. Here come the dip buyers. It looks like it worked. Seven, 8. A lot of buying going on. Let's just take a quick gander what it looks like on the tick chart. Interesting. Kind of holding below the moving averages. I'm going to get out of this chart. It's a little bit too hectic sometimes, and I seem to make a lot of mistakes on this chart. So right now we're already bouncing 3%. Not a bad bounce, but I feel like this bounce is a little bit too risky for me, and mainly because I think if $7 cracks, it'll go to 650 or 670 in a snap of the finger. ASLN, is it unhalted? It's not moving, but it's lower than it was last time I looked at it. $7.16, a lot of buyers. I'm trying to identify, maybe there's some sort of falling wedge going on here, but it doesn't really look like it. It just kind of seems like there's just a general downtrend. Not really a wedge or, nothing really to run home about. Huge resistance. $27 could be a break area. Looks like 7 might just crack, or who knows? This could be that Spartan hold, like the movie 300. Oh, there's just some dedicated buyers at 7. Let's just say 7, 10, 43. It's a really good amount of buyers in that area. Volume really has started to die a little bit. I mean, I think that's one thing to take away. I kind of like that. This trade's looking more and more interesting. Volume's really fading. If we break above 30, I would probably be interested to buy on a pullback of some sort. So I'm going to keep an eye out for that. $720, huge amount of buyers, just a ridiculous amount. And I don't see those big sellers anymore like we used to see. The sellers seem to have definitely slowed down a little bit here. 19, 15, 10. That was a quick little dip. I still really want to see this thing crack, but you know, is it going to happen? I'm using TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim. That support comes in every time. 715, big support. If we got in near the 725 area, we would really need, you know, pull back towards the 8 for it to really make sense. And that's kind of where I'm on edge a little bit, because I feel like that might be asking for a lot, but let's see what happens. ASLN is still halted. What a roller coaster for that one. This looks like it's going to be a little bit longer of a live stream. I'm happy to have you guys with me on this. Big buyers on the 16, and there was just twice as the amount of buyers on the 15, but they just disappeared. Let's see if we can see them pop up again. Oh, they're back on the 15 and they're gone again. Yeah, that was big news. Schwab wanting to buy TD Ameritrade. I'll have to look into that. Might be worth a video. Yeah, it's ridiculous, huh? Yeah, ASLN is no longer halted. Really nice bounce off the 1.6 area. I'm not gonna lie, it's way more entertaining to watch. This would have been a pretty good bounce trade, I think, mainly because, you know, big support in these areas. And then the price came back, bounced off of this area, 13% bounce. I mean, that's really, really nice. We missed that one, and I'm not about to chase it right now. And it looks like it was just halted. Yeah, it was. It's just halted again. Ja, die Schwaben sind extrem. If you guys don't know, if his stock goes, I think it's what has a bigger than a 10% move in a few minute range. I should actually probably know this. It gets halted for 5 minutes. When do stocks get halted? If AYEG was forming somewhat of a wedge pattern with the declining volume, I would have entered 100%, but it's not really forming much of anything besides just, I feel like building up a little bit of volume to sell into. I don't know. We almost took this trade. We'd be up around, 2% right now, but yeah. I don't feel any shame for not taking that one, and I'm happy that we're not in it. Pretty relaxing day compared to the rest of the week. This week was a little chaotisch, I guess you can say. The week before, no red days. This week, 3 red days and 1 green day. No losses were really that bad though, so we can't really be upset. Here we go. Here we go. Roll up the sleeves, ladies. What do we got? Here comes the selling pressure. The dip buyers might be getting... What do we got here? What do we got? 6.5. Can we bounce in this area? I'm going to put a limit order there. Come on, just a little bit further down. Can we get a secondary dip, people? That's what we want. Let's just be honest here. 6.8 is now crashing. Remember, there's a good catalyst on this one. It's just a little overextended. Big sell volume. Come on, let's get a dip. 6.8 is holding quite well. Big buyers at 6.8. Huge amount of buyers at 6. Why are there so many buyers at 6.8? $6.8 just got sold into, but it did not. $6.85 holding. 6.87. I don't know, guys. I want to see a bigger crack. How about you guys? Do you guys want to see a bigger crack? Is this intense? I feel like it's intense. Give a like if it's intense. I feel it. 6.85. This is a good time to remind ourselves to take a breath. ASLN is back to $2, guys. Phew, that would have been a crack. That would have been the trade, but I was a little preoccupied. If we get another crack here, I would like to go long on EYEG. Big sellers. That was just a 57 seller at 87. Having the reversal back to $7. This thing looks like freaking Bitcoin. What's going on here? Looks like we might break above $7 again, which is a little unfortunate because that means we missed the entry. Although I'm going to go ahead and remove our limit order for now. A lot of new sellers back here at 7. I would probably like to buy on a secondary dip in this zone. I'm still a little chilly. Can we please break this 6.7? Doesn't look like it's going to want to break it. I think we could maybe get an entry here at 6.8. It feels like there's big volume coming in, but at the same time, back above 7. If we get one more big dip, one red candle, I'm going to be definitely looking for a potential entry on that one. ASLN at 210, really, really nice. That you know, I don't know why I'm not watching that one. I feel like we would have already had a profitable trade, maybe 2 off of it. This would have been a nice little breakout even potentially. Just this general break, 38%. What am I doing? Ah, man, yeah, this one's looking really good. I don't know. Am I too fixated on EYEG today? Probably. Probably. But I feel like there's a really good opportunity, and I'm going to see if we can capitalize on it. Nice. SSI. I'll have to go ahead and check that one out. I'm going to also put an alert on this one. Here we go, breaking above 7. This looks like it could be that break. What would our position size be right now? Okay, it's completely fair. It's not really that much. Probably move this to 80. Okay, let's try to get an entry this one. This looks like there's going to be a breakout. $695 is where we got our entry. I really like to see a break above the 7 with some bigger volume. Volume's been weak. Nice trade, Andrew. ASLN, probably should have, again, been watching that one a little bit closer. I really like the way it's moving. Big sellers at 40. Maybe my entry was a little bit early. I would really like to see those sellers get taken out, because right now we are still in a downwards trend. So maybe I was a little bit too early on my entry. We really need to see a break above that. If we go back to 85, I would probably get out of this one. All right, we got out of this one. Was that too early? Probably. I don't know. Wasn't a great pattern. Let's see if we get that crack that we were waiting for. And if we do, how come we didn't trade with 180? Maybe I need to completely like reset it. Small loss on this one. The reason I got out is because we didn't crack, and I was waiting for a crack, and momentum trading, the name of the game is breakout or bail. So if you ever don't know what to do, just think about that, and that will give you an idea of what you should be doing. Small position. Actually, that was a big position. Small loss. Percentage loss was probably close to 2% or something like that. I'm not disappointed in that because this is kind of what we've been waiting for, and I would have been pretty disappointed if that broke to the upside and we were not on it. So I think that's why I'm kind of okay with how that turned out. Who calls somebody on Skype unannounced? Let's see if we can get this crack. And this crack is, I guess what we really should have been waiting for this whole time. If it does crack, we can increase our position size since we're going to be trading much lower. 190, yeah, so around this area is entirely fine. Here we go, 6.77 might just get broken through, and this is what we want. I mean, this is what we've been waiting for. Let's hope it happens, because if it doesn't, then I might just lose my mind. Okay, some support came in here, big support. If we're not going to fall down here, we want to take a bit smaller position size again. Let's just be a little bit more patient on this one. Big buyers at 85, huge buyers. We haven't really seen that amount of buyers before in a while, at least. I'm going to go ahead and put an order at 88. $95 seems to be holding pretty good. $93, this whole area seems to be holding pretty good. Big buyers at 90 as well. I don't know if we're going to even get executed with 91 seems to be holding pretty well. Big orders just in general at the 90. See if we can get executed at 91. This is a little annoying. Let's go to 92. Let's try not to chase too much. ASLN, guys, that was the ticket today. I think today I was just over focused on something we probably should have been over focused on, and now we're getting that big break to the upside. Ah, man, we just traded this one a little bit wrong today, huh? Let me go ahead, put our order at 95. I'm gonna go move it up at 7.01. And I don't think I really want to move it up much further than that. Big sellers at the 15. All right, well, we didn't chase it too much, which is good. We waited for the price to come back down a little bit. We still bought over 7. Our first entry was much better. But let's see what happens. I mean, I think there's a good chance that this thing's going to reverse for a little bit. We want to see it break past this high, obviously, at the 710 is really what we're looking for. Otherwise, I'd probably be getting out of this trade if we go a little bit below 7. Here we go. Looks like we're about to get a breakout. $7.05. We have to get through these sellers. There's a lot of sellers still here, and they just don't really want to leave. We might have to bail out here at 92. I don't like the fact that that breakout didn't happen. I'm going to be ready to sell at the 92. All right, we got out again, 92. I'm going to close. I'm going to stop trading for today. We are not fully out of our position just yet. Okay, now we're fully out of our position. Basically the same loss. Don't really know what to say about that one. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing broke above 7.5 in a little bit. Here we go again. It looks like the rally might be starting now. That's a little disappointing today. You know, we picked a stock that was a little bit more choppy. The whole time I was waiting for one of these morning panics and a little nice bounce. It didn't crash as hard as we wanted to. Nothing really was as X as we wanted it to. I don't know. I think there's a great chance, there's a phenomenal chance that this thing is going to break to the upside. But at this point, I would probably start over trading, and I don't have a lot of trades. So I'm probably just not going to do any more trades. ASLN, guys, why did we not trade this one? We had this breakout from this area, pulled back, had a breaker. You know, we could be up 30% on this one. Somehow I just completely butchered today. We were nice and patient though, but kind of had a lot of these just slip through my fingers a little bit. Much more interesting trades. Look, I mean, again, you know, if we entered now, we probably would have got faken out again. I know this thing's all over the place. But yeah, I do think there's a really good chance that this is going to break to the upside. And a part of me wants to, you know, give it another shot. But at the same time, I know that I've already used 2 of the trades. So I think I'm going to not do any more trading today. And that's just kind of it. Yeah, I think I'm done for trading for today. That's unfortunate. We were so close. Guys, I just want to say thanks for tuning in. EYEG is now at 685. Looks like it's dipping down a little bit. I'm going to go and review my trades a little bit, think where I could have improved. But I definitely think I should have put my attention where the market was. And clearly the market was with ASLN, maybe SSI. Like Andrew was talking about, or SSI. So yeah, I don't know. It happens. I'm not really disappointed. Small loss. But yeah, overall, this wasn't the best week, but you know, just got to study more and get back on the horse. Make sure to leave a like if you guys have not already. And if you are new here and you want to see more videos like this, just go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell icon too. I come out with videos. We go live every morning at 9:15 to trade the market open. So guys, till next time, enjoy your weekend. Have a great Friday. Stay safe, and if you're doing crypto, I guess make some awesome trades. Otherwise, Monday it is. Ciao, ciao, guys.